Once unstoppable, the rap queen is now making headlines for suffering and heartache. Renowned for her fortitude and tenacity, Remy Ma was allegedly admitted to the hospital following a shocking disclosure. The guy who supported her during her achievements and incarceration, Papoose, is said to have abandoned her. Additionally, people are in awe of boxing champion Claressa Shields. The industry is in a frenzy. Everyone is wondering how one of the most resilient love stories in hip-hop could have ended so tragically and publicly. Machines buzzed against the hospital room's clean white walls, their buzzing rhythms resonating like reminders of a grief too heavy to bear. The ferocious Bronx icon Remy Ma, who had based her career on tenacity and fury, was lying quietly on the bed. Seeing her in this state, vulnerable, damaged, and shook to her very core, was a stomach strike for admirers. Word had gotten around like wildfire. Nobody anticipated the controversy that led to Remy Ma's hospitalization. Fans gathered outside the hospital with love and support placards, cameras flashed, and reporters yelled questions. Already, the hashtags #prayer for #Tay, Remy #Pap betrayal were going around on social media. Remy Ma and Papoose, the once unbreakable duo in the hip-hop community, were now disintegrating in the most repulsive manner imaginable. Claressa Shields, the boxing champion, is at the center of the controversy. It all started with what appeared to be a routine incident. Papoose and Claressa were supposed to attend a press conference to advertise her impending bout. The only thing that fans anticipated was a helpful cameo. However, they received a bombshell from the public. Papoose, who was in front of cameras, made a comment that shocked everyone in the room and online. In addition to her courage, loyalty, and inspiration qualities he suggested had been lacking in his own relationship, he commended Claressa for her power in the ring. Then, very casually, he spoke the sentence that would completely upend everything. There are moments when you recognize that the person at your side isn't truly the one for you. And other times, that person is right here. The audience gasped as he pointed to Claressa with his hand. Remy, who had supported Papoose through it all, deserves a dot. Incarceration, highs and lows in one's work, and personal struggles. Being disregarded, thrown away, and treated disrespectfully was like a stab to the heart. In public, as well as privately. The shame was more intense than any conflict or disgrace she had ever experienced. Within hours, there were rumors that she had been abruptly admitted to the hospital because the emotional toll had become too great. Her candid voice shook with grief and anger. He wants to publicly humiliate me in this way, after everything we've gone through together. After all the years I've shown him my love and dedication, I have never experienced such anguish. Papoose's version of events unfolded as quickly. He defended himself in his own interviews, claiming that their relationship had changed and that he had been hiding things for years. Picture perfect, people say when they see Remy and Pap. But they fail to notice the disagreements, the distance, the disdain, and the backstage scenes. I am not a villain. Simply said, I'm a man sick of acting the part. And in ways I can't even describe, Claressa had been honest with me. Fans who had looked up to Remy's love story as an example of black love, devotion, and tenacity also were deeply hurt by the betrayal. Papoose had been hailed for years as the guy who waited for Remy during her 6-year prison sentence. She was surrounded by the guy who sent her letters, who showed her unwavering affection. It was believed that their love could not be broken. Nevertheless, they were here, ripped apart in the most heinous manner imaginable. Caught in the middle, Claressa Shields attempted self-defense. She claimed on social media that her relationship with Papoose was real and that she hadn't taken anyone. You may say anything you want, but Pap is an adult who is capable of making his own choices. Don't blame me for this. I admire Remy as a woman and as an artist, but I can't deny my authenticity. The reaction was instantaneous. Claressa's pages were inundated with allegations and insults from fans, who referred to her as a homewrecker and demanded an apology. However, some supported her, pointing out that there had been rifts in Remy and Papoose's relationship in previous years. Behind the cameras, there are rumors of infidelity and hostility. Remy, meantime, thought back on her travels while in that hospital room. She recalled the evenings that Pap had assured her would go forever. They commemorated the anniversaries, the proud way he used to gaze at her.
Go on, me.
She recalled how they portrayed themselves as unflappable in a society where the majority of celebrities believed that their claims were untrue. Was it only a show? Her voice broke as she asked, "Did I build my whole life on an illusion?" Hip-hop and love producers realized they had hit gold with Scandal. Every aspect was captured by the cameras. Clarissa's stubbornness, Remy's emotional breakdown, Papoose's startling public declaration, and the fans' conflicted response. The plot essentially wrote itself. However, the suffering was all too real for those who were experiencing it. Remy is seen browsing through her phone on the hospital bed as the first part comes to a close. Seeing the never-ending flood of articles, memes, and comments analyzing her anguish, "I don't know if I can ever come back from this," she murmurs to herself as she puts down the phone and looks up at the ceiling. Remy Ma's recuperation wasn't the only outcome of her hospital stay. It turned into a public test of celebrity, marriage, and fidelity. Even though there were no cameras in that hospital room, the rumors and leaks created a clear image. Now that she was at the center of this tornado, boxing champion Claressa Shields had to deal with her own round of criticism. The question was she truly responsible for this fracture? Or had she been unfairly cast as the villain in a love story gone terribly wrong? Papoose attempted to play damage control in the interim. Although he made declarations claiming that he would always honor Remy, his admirers could see right through them. They brought up the fact that, whether on purpose or not, his name frequently appeared with Claressa's in tabloids, gossip websites, and even in his own social media posts, sending a frightening message. There was no turning back after the guy, who had previously been characterized by dedication, had turned a corner. Her supporters surrounded her. Longtime fans, friends, and other rappers flooded timelines with supportive messages using hashtags like #StandWithRemy and #RyeMyStrong. They saw this as more than simply heartache. Reminding Remy Ma that she wasn't alone in this public uproar was crucial to her survival. However, despite its strength, the support also brought attention to the differences. Others said that Remy had contributed to the dismantling of old fights, envy, and behind-the-scenes conflicts that had accumulated over the years. According to those who spoke in interviews, Remy was upset by this as well as the betrayal. Her love had always been Papoose's fulcrum, particularly while she was imprisoned and the world appeared prepared to forsake her. To witness that same love break down in front of millions of people. And it was an embarrassment that few could take for another woman, particularly a rising force like Claressa. Being in the hospital included more than simply physical strain. It was a breakdown of emotions. Nevertheless, there were rumors that Remy was getting ready for a return, even when she was at her lowest. The thing about her is that she has never remained unconscious for very long. From incarceration to platinum, from public conflicts to personal suffering, Remy has established a reputation for perseverance. According to people close to her, she has already started composing again, putting all of her feelings into songs that could soon make it into the studio. Now fans can practically hear it. Unvarnished, unadulterated poetry about betrayal, lost love, and a woman taking back her authority. And a lady taking back her authority. However, Papoose and Claressa's public persona becomes increasingly nuanced as Remy gains strength. They are referred to as a power couple in the making. There is a new kind of superstar duo, the songwriter and the unbeaten boxer. Others saw them as a warning story, evidence that popular adoration may turn into public disgrace. And looming over everything is a question that no one has yet to address. What part will Papoose have in Remy's future, if any, if she recovers more fully? Dramatic splits and eye-catching headlines are nothing new in the hip-hop industry, but this one goes deeper. It compels supporters to reconsider the true meaning of loyalty. When every mistake is magnified by celebrity, when cameras are always rolling, and when love is put to the test in front of flashing lights rather than behind closed doors, Remy Ma's tale is still up in the air. She is recuperating, relaxing, and observing while the world discusses her suffering. Will she get back up, or determined than ever to show the game why she is one of its most dreaded voices? Or will you never fully recover from this betrayal as a turning moment in your life? There is no doubt that the next chapter has not yet been written. and everyone will be watching when it happens. The tale of Remy Ma goes beyond a simple headline. It serves as a reminder that when love, devotion, and trust clash, even the strongest can shatter. She is engaged in struggles on all fronts, from the hospital bed to the limelight. As fans, we must wonder, nevertheless, if this suffering will lead to her biggest return to yet. Or has Papoose been permanently altered by her public betrayal? We would want to know your thoughts. Should Remy permanently leave Papoose? In light of everything they have created together, is forgiveness still possible? How does Claressa Shields fare? Is Shetley the focus of this pain, or is she merely another casualty of a chaotic, very visible fallout? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Your voice counts in this discussion, therefore we'll be reading them. Additionally, be sure to click the subscribe button and enable notifications. If you have been following along with every spin of this love and treachery roller coaster, you don't want to miss the next headline, since it might completely alter your life. The tale of Remy, Papoose, and Claressa is far from finished, so stay tuned. And believe me, the most startling chapter may still to come. Soon after, it hanged.